Welcome to Urban Knife Guy, where we explore the urban lifestyle and jungle survival. Today we're going to have a look at 3 different budget boarding knives that I've been using regularly, which I think are quite underrated. First, if you watch this channel regularly but have not subscribed, please do so to help the channel out. Thanks. So I've been missing in action for a couple of days now, and that's because for the past 2 weeks I have been kind of packing and shifting to a new place, and I'm also setting up a new studio. So basically I've been too busy to film videos and lots of things are packed, so it's tough to really find the space and get everything set up to film. But I'm doing this will be my last video, I believe, in this particular studio before I move to the next one, and I'll be sure to show you the next one and give you a behind the scenes tour. It's gonna be pretty sick. But I thought I'll share with you these 3 knives. Now, I've covered each of these knives individually before, but I've been getting a lot of use out of them, and I think they're pretty underrated because there aren't many views for the videos for these particular knives, and I find it pretty strange because they're good knives. This is the CRKT Sketch, this is the Sencut Acumen, and the Civivi Altus. So these are all made in China. Doesn't mean they're no good. In fact, they're pretty good. CRKT is an American brand, but this is made in China. Sencut is actually a sister company of Civivi. So this is kind of the budget range. And it's funny because previously Civivi was the budget range of Wee knives, and now they've kind of bumped up the prices, so they've got a more budget range, and that's the Sencut. So all these knives are priced differently, and I won't go through too much of the detailed specs. You can check out the links of the individual videos in the description below. But first, let's just quickly have a look at the Sketch. So what I really like about this is that metal body, and I think that nice lime green kind of accents really makes it pop. And one comment I made about this knife previously was I think this is great for a creative type or an artist, and I think I still think that's the case, just because it's got a unique shape and still pretty ergonomic, and I like the heft to it because it's all metal, so that's pretty good. Now all these knives have 3-inch blades or sub 3-inch blades. I think so there's similarities there, but all the locking mechanisms are different. This is a frame lock, and actually is a very nice frame lock, and deployment really nice as well. So this, the knife shape is unique as well. Now in the product description it's called a Wharncliffe, but at the same time it's also described as a modified sheep's foot, and they also call it a K-tip style blade. So whatever you call it, I think it's pretty cool, and just the overall look of the knife is nice. And I've been carrying this a lot for EDC in Malaysia, and I also use it around the house. It's been used quite a bit. I probably sharpened it up or touched it up at least once. And it's been really good. In fact, I think it's got a nice thick blade. It's 3 millimeters, and it's just, I don't know, I like the strength of it. I like how it's built. It feels very tough, and I've used it to cut through all kinds of things, and I'm pretty happy with it. So if you're looking for something that looks pretty unique, in my opinion, what looks a bit artsy, and you like this all metal construction with a bit of heft, you definitely like this CRKT Sketch. Now the Sencut Acumen is a lighter knife. It's also sub 3 inches. It's also 3 millimeters thick. It's got a drop point style blade, black stone wash. This is 9CR18 MOV. I forgot to mention for the Sketch, that's 8CR14 MOV. So this is actually better steel, but it's cheaper than this knife, but it's also lighter. The fit and finish is good, so don't get me wrong, but it's just not as polished, I think, as these 2 knives. But then the price point also reflects that. So it's great working knife. I've been carrying this at home as my kind of my home moving prepping EDC. So it's always in my pocket. I'm opening up so many packages and just getting things in order. So this has been really useful. Even though these 2 blades are actually the same thickness, they're supposed to be the same thickness, just I think the stock here is, I don't know, they've kept it a bit thicker. So on paper, they're the same thickness, but this feels much beefier and stout. And remember, this steel is also not as good as this steel. Now, this is a liner lock, but in terms of flipper action, no problem with the deployment. If you like that all black tactical look, that will work for you as well. Now, this final knife is the CVV Altus. It's a button lock knife. Great deployment, almost a spear point type style blade, although it is a drop point. It's a silver bead blasted finish, and this is Nitro V. Also 3mm thick, but also feels thin. Feels more like the Sand Cut compared to the CRKT. And I've been carrying this as my EDC. So I live in both Malaysia and Singapore. So in Malaysia, I've been carrying this with this Vibrate 15 pouch, and that goes in right there. And I've been using it as my EDC. Very, I think, elegant in the look. You can see the G10 scales, has that chamfering and that design. So it's really nice, looks elegant. And I've been very happy with this knife as well in terms of usage. So 3 different knives, all great knives, but as I said, underrated. Very few people watched the videos on it, so there doesn't seem much interest. Not many comments as well, so I thought I'll just bring it to your attention in case you missed it. So I'll just round up by talking about the prices. So all different price points. The CRKT, that's $60, that's the MSRP. The Sencut Acumen is $46, and the CVV Altus is the most expensive at $72. And you can get them at various discounts depending on the dealer. But definitely 3 different price points. And in terms of the feel, definitely I would say the Sencut would feel the cheapest in that sense, or the most budget. It's still a great fit and finish, so great knife, beater knife, I think. And you don't find it, you don't find it rough. Even though I say it doesn't have the best fit and finish compared to the rest, it's still very, very good. It definitely doesn't feel like a gas station knife, for example. Definitely, I think the CVV Altus has the best finish in terms of the fit and finish and just the overall look. This also good. Different style, I would say. It definitely has a more rugged look to it, but again, also that more artistic look in my opinion. So there you have it, 3 different knives, 3 different price points, all great knives, all great for EDC. If you're looking for that sub 3-inch blade, but a locking blade, then this will work for you. Frame lock, liner lock, and a button lock. Well, let me know if you have any favorites among these 3, or if you own one of these knives, do you think they're underrated as well? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.